Lions tour. This one just keeps on going. Obviously, we have no set plan yet as to what. Well, no definitive decision has been made as to what's going to happen with the Lions tour. It's still very much up in the air. Things are not looking great at the moment in terms of the original plan, which is supposed to be going ahead in July. I mean, obviously, the plan A is fans from the UK and Ireland travel down to South Africa to watch the British and Irish Lions tour of South Africa. But the way the COVID cases have been going in the UK, Ireland, and South Africa, especially with the new variants and the relatively slow rate of vaccination, at least in the UK. I'm not sure how vaccination, if it's even started in South Africa yet. It seems like a pretty small chance that that's going to go ahead. That's virtually written off, isn't it? Australia's put their hand in the ring. Now, remember, if you've been watching the videos for a while, we talked about this a little while back, but replace Australia with New Zealand, and it was never an official suggestion. It was a media guy who basically suggested that, hey, we could move the tournament to New Zealand. We could host it here. Well, it seems this Aussie one's slightly more official because they've put the Aussie Rugby CEO Hamish McLennan, they've put his name all over it. Stephen Jones is the man linking him to it. That basically South Africa and the British and Irish Lions could head down to Australia, play the tournament as planned. I'm not sure if they would be including all the other teams that the Lions are supposed to play on the way, or whether they fill those roles with Aussie teams. And then you get fans in the stadiums. There's plenty of expat, Brits, Irish, South Africans over in Australia. You get your tour and you get your fans through the doors. So you kind of get a bit of everything. And from the report, Australia says, hey, we just keep the kind of operational costs. You guys split the revenue between the Lions and between South African Rugby Union. So we don't take a cut of that action. So they're not trying to weasel their way in. So that's the latest one. Now there's so many other possibilities, right, that could go on. That's their plan. Other people have suggested, hey, why not swap, right? So tour Australia next, because Australia is the next cab off the rank. You could do the tour of Australia now, and then the next one you do South Africa in 4 years' time. No way Australia are going to have a bar of that. That would be nuts. Why would you want to have the tour during a pandemic if you could have a full normal tour with all the tourists in 4 years' time? I don't think there's any chance of that. That whilst nice on paper, it seems nuts that Australia would be willing. Australian rugby has enough cash issues without wanting to swap like a potential 4-year dueling crown for what's end up being a rather rubbish year. So, yeah, that's the one suggestion. Feedback tends to be South African fans would like to see it delayed. Obviously, South African fans, I think key for them is to have the competition, have the tournament, have the tour in South Africa, right? Because you want you guys playing at home. That's the point of the tour. And you guys want to be able to go to the games and you want to watch it at a time of day which is not having to worry about time zones because it's local for you. It only happens once every 12 years. So it would seem like a travesty to take the thing away, so a delay. On the other side of the coin, in terms of World Cup preparations for the year after, I'm not sure how keen all the the British and Irish Lions for countries that are represented would be on having their potential plans messed up. Because by being 2 years out from a World Cup, it's not such an influence. But if it gets closer to the World Cup, it does get a bit disruptive for them. A lot of guys from countries like Wales have said it's always a bit of a hangover year after the Lions tour for us to kind of get back in order. So yeah, the UK option has been suggested both with fans and without fans. The with fans option was maybe suggested when the Premiership was just starting to get like 2,000 fans to a game. Things seem to be on the right track. Then that new variant hit in the UK. And we've gone back to everything being no fans. Six Nations is looking like no fans. And lockdown mode is on, and South African option, as I said, plan A is with fans. Then there's the no fans option as well. I don't know that there's any point in moving it to the UK and Ireland to play without any fans. I don't see what value you add there. What's the difference in just playing it in South Africa? Would you rather play it in South Africa or the UK with no fans, or play it in Australia with fans? Or would you rather see it delayed? There's no easy answer to this question. I think we're supposed to find out in about a couple of weeks, mid-February. I think they're supposed to be making a call as to what the options are. The Currie Cup and Super Rugby Unlocked did manage to go ahead without fans in attendance. There were some games disrupted. The Premiership has been going on in the England, and the Pro 14's been going on in Wales and Scotland and Ireland with some disruption. So there's been kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other there. Australia with fans. Time zone, do you play it at a time of day which is convenient to getting local fans through the door, or do you play it at a time for the fans who are missing out anywhere? I don't know, man. There's no real easy answer here. Obviously, it's better to have it in front of fans, but it's never going to be quite the same without that whole touring fans feeling. But that's just the kind of situation we're looking at, isn't it? If you had to pick one, which one do you go with? How do you delay it with the rugby calendar the way it is? Don't know. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts. What's the best option of these ones thus far? Is there another option that I haven't put here? Is it delaying? Just bugger everything else and just find a spot for it next year, hopefully. Is Australia potential? They say they're not in it for the money, but then I'm a bit torn as to I mean, that's a lot. They are hosting other tournaments. Remember, they hosted the Tri-Nations. Then they've got like tennis tournament going on at the minute, so you still have to come there, isolate for 14 days, and then do the whole sports thing. Do you bring out the British and Irish Lions, all the support staff, the Springboks, all the support staff? Do you bring out all the prep games that the Lions were going to play? Do you bring out those teams, or do you just get them to play local Australian teams to kind of have a bit of a mishmash? I don't know, man. There's no perfect answer here. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts on this Aussie option to host the British and Irish Lions. Aussies to the rescue. Do you think it's a viable option, or do you think it's just a bit of hot air coming out of the press? We'll watch this one with interest. Like I said, I think we've still got a couple of weeks to go before we actually find out where the planning is at. Unfortunately, it does seem like plan A is pretty much dead in the water, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully someone smarter than me has thought of something brilliant. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts. Talk to you again soon. See you later.